Hey, how you doing today? I am Taquila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to take a look at spiritual manipulation because it is very important for you to understand what spiritual manipulation is, how does it look, how is it showing up in your prodigal life, how the enemy is manipulating you. Because when we understand what we are dealing with, when we understand spiritual manipulation, we will be able to stand stronger in this God ordained love story, and we need to just know what spiritual manipulation is, and begin to understand how the enemy manipulate us, right, to speak against our love story. The enemy will manipulate you to now doubt God or even become an enemy to God because, when God is revealing to you in dreams and vision, all of these promises, right? He's showing you things. He's revealing the prophecy. He's revealing you and your spouse, some of the things that you're going to do with one another in the future, right? But when you look in the physical, you see everything opposite. You don't see, what God is promising you, right? And this is spiritual manipulation because number one, God is showing you these dreams and vision to keep you encouraged, to confirm to you that the promise still stands, right? God is confirming these things to you. This is why he's constantly giving you these dreams and vision. However, because you don't see it in the physical, that is letting you know it's spiritual manipulation going on in the spirit realm. The enemy, evildoers, witches, and warlock. Okay, these are the individuals who the devil uses to do his work on earth. So it's the witches, it's the warlocks, it's the ones who are speaking against your God ordained love story. It is the ones who are casting these spells, setting up traps and blockages in the spirit realm. It's the ones who are, removing things around in the spirit realm, right? And this is why could all of that is considered spiritual manipulation. They know how to manipulate things in the spirit realm, right? And so because this isn't taught and because we, lack awareness regarding spiritual manipulation, when we look in the physical and we see everything opposite of what God said, right? It can move you to anger. It can move you to resentment. It can move you to not wanting to give up on your love story. It can move you to now doubting and second guessing God. But the devil is a lie. So we got to bring awareness. We have to talk about spiritual manipulation. We also have to see and understand how the enemy is manipulating prodigals. But not only that, you must be aware of how the enemy is manipulating you to speak against your own love story. Okay. So let's take a look at the word spiritual manipulation. Of course, we already know spiritual is referring to the spirit realm. Okay. Now, manipulation, we're going to take a look at a few definitions for manipulation. The first definition for manipulation means the action of manipulating something in a skillful manner. I need you to understand that evildoers, they are skilled in their witchcraft work. They are skilled, okay? They develop the skill of casting spell. They have developed the skill of these demonic rituals. They developed the skill of how to perform black magic to block people, communication or your finances, right? They practice and they practice and they develop their craft, okay, which is why Christians need to be developing their craft. Christians need to be in their prayer closet, okay, working their gifts, right, developing their prayer language, etc., etc. So understand, evildoers, they are skilled at what they do. They know how to manipulate the things in the spiritual world. We hear this say all the time how the kingdom of darkness is very organized. It's time for believers to get organized. It's time for believers to, understand, our weapons that we use to come up against the kingdom of darkness. All right. Another definition for manipulation means controlling someone or something to your own advantage. I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I showed you in scripture how demons control the individual, right? Demon, the whole purpose of a demon entering inside a person is to influence this individual, right? According to that spirit. So if a spirit of pride has entered inside of an individual, you're going to see the person now acting and behaving in prideful ways. If there's a spirit of lust, you're going to see the person manifesting this lust, the spirit of perversion spirit, right? If there's a spirit of hate or anger, you're going to see the anger. You're going to see the rage. You're going to see, okay, this person just out of control, acting like a madman, because this is the spirit that are on the inside of this individual. So we must begin to understand that demons will control a person. And this is spiritual manipulation, because when you interact with your prodigal and you see how your prodigal is responding to you or not responding to you, you're met with the rejection, you're hit with the betrayal, right? You see the disgust written all over their face, right? You see, how they become very unsupportive. The heart is now cold. This is spiritual manipulation. The person is being manipulated by this unclean spirit that is operating on the inside of them. Okay, let's take a look at some more definitions for manipulation. It say to handle, manage, or use, especially with skill in some process of treatment or performance. Okay, let's see. Manipulation is the skillful handling, controlling, or using of something or someone. All right. So I believe we already know what manipulation means, right? But again, we have to begin to understand that when love spells and separation spells or any spell work is being performed over not over the prodigal life, but your life as well, this is spiritual manipulation. When the evildoers cast separation spells over your life, it now causes you, it shuts down your emotions to where now you're resentful of this person, you hate this person, you angry with this person, you don't even want anything to do with this person. It will block your emotions and feelings. Some of you have said to me, Tequila, I don't even feel anything for my person. That's because you are up under a separation spell, right? And the same thing with the prodigal. When a love spell is performed over this individual, it causes this individual who once had an interest and desire in their God ordained spouse to now start rejecting this individual. And it tricks the prodigal into thinking they really want and is in love with a counterfeit when the devil is a lie, right? So spell work is spiritual manipulation. If an evildoer is performing black magic on, your life, that's spiritual manipulation. If there's any witchcraft work being performed, spiritual manipulation. If there's a graveyard ritual being performed over your life, that's spiritual manipulation. Okay. So we have to understand, okay, spiritual manipulation comes whenever there's unclean spirits operating on the inside of an individual. You are being manipulated spiritually by these unclean spirits. One minute you feel fine, the next minute you're doubting, the next minute you're depressed, the next minute you're ready to give up, right? You're going strong for 1 week, excited, focus on the promise, but then the next week you're hit with all of this depression and this disappointment. Why is that? Because there's unclean spirits operating on the inside of you and you need deliverance. Okay. So unclean spirits, when they operate on the inside of an individual, this is considered spiritual manipulation. This is why you see double-mindedness showing up in the prodigal. This is why they always confused. This is why, they being tormented of the mind. This is why, they pride, they prideful, you see the selfishness. These are unclean spirits. So understand, whenever you're dealing with unclean spirits, whenever you're dealing with witchcraft, okay, being performed over your life or the prodigal life or even over your marriage promise, this is spiritual manipulation. Okay, so let's get an understanding of spiritual manipulation and begin to outsmart the enemy. Okay, scripture tell us to be wise as serpent. God don't want you to be ignorant of this. He wants you to understand that the enemy is manipulating your love story. Once you understand how the spiritual manipulation shows up, yes, it hurt. Okay, I'm not taking away from that. Yes, this stuff hurt when you see what's going on and you see how your person is responding to you. However, I need you to take that hurt and pain and I need you to, use it to come up against the kingdom of darkness who is manipulating your spouse and hurting you. Okay. So with that, I am Taquila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.